Today's program is sponsored by the Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
Fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning, Anthony.
This date in history is...
There's a lot that happened.
Lots of stuff that happened this week. But it is National Hairy Balls Awareness Day.
Why would you say that?
And
That's just you're ridiculous.
And the zipper was patented.
It's not hairy balls. It's hairball. National Hairball Day.
Oh, hairball. Oh, never mind. When I saw the zipper patented on the same day. And
you're thinking hairy balls and zippers?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
No. First of all, be nice, okay? Consider the grooming challenges of our fur babies. They're licking and cleaning themselves and then choking. Think about that. But as far as the zipper goes, I mean, I love zippers, okay? I love zippers on jeans. I love them. I think they're fantastic. And
I couldn't urinate without one.
And originally, before the zipper, it was actually what was marketed was a clasp locker. But, then came the zipper and the patent in 1893. And here's the funny part.
All farts are funny.
Okay. Cut that.
I want to keep it so bad.
You can. I'll never bring you another thing to eat.
I would keep that in there. Here's the funny fart. And I could say farts are funny.
Stop it. Okay. And here, are we doing it?
Yep.
Okay. And here's the funny part. Okay. When that patent came out, they didn't even use the word zipper. How interesting is that?
What did they use?
Not zipper. That's for sure. But anyway, do you know what the best part of this famous week is?
Tell me.
What's up, Doc?
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Carrots. I love carrots.
Yeah, it's all about the carrots.
What I wouldn't do for a carrot.
I love carrots. I'll bring you a big carrot tomorrow. But it's all about Bugs Bunny. And his first appearance happened to be April 30th, 1938. And he appeared on Tex Avery's Porky's Hare Hunt. Remember Porky Pig?
Yes.
Yeah, with his little stutter. Anyway, he was voiced by the man of 1,000 voices, Mel Blanc, which we know. And Bugs Bunny became famous for his flippant personality. He actually is an American cultural icon. And get this, he has his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Does he really?
He does. And good for him. Because I love Bugs Bunny. I think Bugs Bunny was awesome.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite cartoons.
One of my favorites, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what you got for me?
Well,
because I know you got something.
What a sexy show we've got today.
Don't we always have a sexy show,
I
Mr.
think
Co-host?
so. I think so. We're going to be talking about people who are really into the idea of a threesome.
We are.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a little bit later on in our show.
You told me last week.
That's right. So you're going to need to stay tuned for that. It's going to be very interesting.
I'll stay tuned.
Okay.
Tuned.
But first, our...
Oh, you're giving more dating tips?
Dating rules to everyone.
This cracks me
now,
up.
Mike, if you're in limbo land, she doesn't call you back, you don't hear from her in a couple of days... you text her, she doesn't text, you call, you leave messages. Assume she's hooking up with other people.
Oh, ouch.
Mm-hmm. Now, and remember, anything goes before either one of you drop the love bomb. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a little nauseous. Getting that pit in my stomach.
Well, here you go. Now, blackout dance floor makeouts, they're not cheating because technically you weren't there. Mentally, you were so blasted.
I see what you're saying.
So that doesn't count. Any pictures or anything wasn't you.
Oh boy, there's a song like that. Remember?
Yeah, something like
wasn't me. You got him on a video camera, but wasn't me.
And, if you're ever planning a trip with your significant other, you should have already been together for more time than the time until the start date of your trip. So there should be a minimum amount of time, and that probably should be at least 6 months before you go away with somebody.
Sorry, I just...
No, you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. So just repeat what I just said.
I can't. I spaced out completely.
See that? He did that. He was showing you exactly what that is when he spaces out, when he blacks out.
That's right. So technically you weren't there.
I'm technically not here. Yeah.
So it doesn't count. It's all good.
So, Elise, what would our show be without a poop topic?
Really? Really? Is there ever going to be a day when you don't have to just talk about pooping and farting and peeing and
No.
Ay.
And you know what? Thank you for bringing that up. I got another story about farting. That's going to come up right after this.
Thank God.
Story
God, I
about
don't know what I
poop.
would do.
Now, this is very serious. I know you're always making jokes.
Well, because you're talking about pooping all the time. So, sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's not. So today's version is a serious one?
Yes, and it is all about bacteriotherapy.
Now, that is serious.
Yes, it is.
That is serious, and that's about the health of people.
Yes, it is.
So that is about, okay.
And bacteriotherapy is actually fecal transplantation.
Yes, it is.
It's the transfer of a stool from one healthy donor
Yeah, I was going to say of a healthy stool from a healthy donor.
into the gastrointestinal tract for the purpose of treating recurrent C. diff.
Yes, and that is so that the healthy bacteria from this stool is transplanted into this other person who absolutely positively needs healthy bacteria.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a very serious situation, and thankfully there's a way of healing this awful disease, C. diff.
Yep. C. diff is actually short for defecal colitis. And defecal colitis is caused when the antibiotics that you may take kill off too many of the good bacteria in the digestive tract.
Exactly.
And what the fecal transplants do is it helps replenish that bacterial balance.
Exactly. Yeah, very important.
Fecal transplantation is performed as a treatment for recurrent C. diff. Now, that is a complication of antibiotic therapy.
Yeah, and see, that happens when you're taking antibiotics because you're not well, and you end up with diarrhea, cramping in your abdomen, fevers sometimes, chills. You get that toxic feeling. I know a lot of people have had this.
That's right.
I've actually had this. But then it goes beyond that. And what happens is it gets into your system and it becomes almost deadly, actually.
Yes.
Very, very serious. I know people who have had this situation, and it's very, very serious, and it requires not only this bacteriotherapy, but also other medications, and they really don't do very well with antibiotics, and their immune system is actually down, so they get sick all the time. So it's something that you really have to build yourself up, and this is what helps. The bacteriotherapy really does help them.
That's right. And the way you get this is from antibiotics, which you think are doing you good, but you may be taking them for too long, and it kills all the bacteria in your stomach, good and bad.
Yeah, it's I have to tell you, it's similar to, and this is the thing, and people don't realize the seriousness of it, but when you're taking something, that absolutely kills everything in your system, similar to like the chemotherapy.
Yes.
It kills everything in your system, including the cancer, but it leaves you open to so many other things. That's what happens here. The antibiotics are working against the person. It's killing, the sore throat or maybe the strep or whatever it is that you have, the infection, but it's killing everything else also. It's working against the person. And that's when the person gets really, really ill and breaks down, and their immune system becomes like nothing. And that's why this helps them.
That's right. And if you're over the age of 65 and this
Even
is
worse.
chronic,
Yeah.
you are at a risk for death.
Yes, absolutely.
But a knowledgeable doctor can detect C. diff just by the pungent odor of a bowel movement.
Yeah.
It is a very specific.
There's a very specific scent there.
Yeah, absolutely, and a trained doctor will know exactly what that is.
Exactly.
Now, if you're diagnosed, your doctor will treat the initial infection with another antibiotic that specifically targets the C. diff. And antibiotics used for this treatment of infection include metronidazole, vancomycin, and fidaxomicin.
And that is amazing. Your pronunciation is phenomenal.
Well, by the way,
Yes.
the vancomycin drug is about $5,000 a month and is not included in most insurances.
No, and that's another thing. And that's something that actually blows me away. I don't understand if somebody gets ill and they have insurance, what is the reason that they don't cover the medication to fix the illness or to take care of the illness? What is that about?
This is what happens. If you go into the hospital and you're in bed and you are taking the intravenously, it's covered.
So
which makes no sense to me.
So then they're willing to spend $10,000 a day to keep you in the hospital. Or more, 10,000 or more to keep you in the hospital instead of releasing to you the medication without you going into the hospital. You're going to get sicker in the hospital with all the germs there. Do you understand? I mean, you understand this.
You're going to have to write to the president and find out what you do with this.
I can't do that.
With this new affordable health program, that maybe they can explain it to you.
I can't do that.
Anyway. In 30% of the treated individuals, the infection returns within a couple of days or a couple of weeks after finishing this special antibiotic course.
Oh, really?
So, what happens? Your doctor may choose to treat this first reoccurrence with another round of the special antibiotic therapy. However, in those individuals who continue to have the reoccurrent C. diff, the fecal transplantation is an option.
Okay, so they first treat this with antibiotics.
Yeah, specific antibiotics that kill the C. diff bacteria.
I understand that. But then once that doesn't happen, and if
they do it again.
Yes, I understand. And then then the second time or the third time? The third reoccurrence?
Depends on the doctor. And let me tell you, when this disease keeps reoccurring, you really do think you're going to die.
I'm sure you do. That can be very, very depleting. So let me ask you this, though. Is it contagious?
It is.
And that's another thing. That's another issue. You know, you have somebody, you're so sick and you need somebody to take care of you. How does the other person take care of himself or herself?
Rubber gloves, masks, and you just you need to be careful.
Wow.
In a recent study published in the 2013 New England Journal of Medicine, it showed that fecal transplantation is much more effective than the oral vancomycin in preventing the further reoccurrences of individuals who have already.
See, that's good.
Now,
that's good to know.
Yeah. Now, you're going to need to be able to identify a potential donor prior to your fecal transplantation.
Okay, so you need to actually know somebody. It needs to be...
You absolutely need to know somebody.
Wow.
And, you need to know, have they had any antibiotic exposure in the past 6 months? They need to be...
Okay, because they could be, oh my gosh.
They could be immune compromised.
Oh my God, tattoos, piercings?
Yep.
Oh my.
They can't have any of those in the past 6 months?
No, they could have, high-risk sexual behavior. Wow.
Well, that's you.
That leaves you out.
That leaves you out.
Yeah. Okay, but that's all right.
A history of drug use, that definitely leaves you out.
Absolutely, of course. You too, though.
That's right.
Because you're my dealer.
And have a history of incarceration.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Also you.
But you... and if you can't have any chronic GI disorders.
Oh,
such
and
as,
you can't have traveled out of the United States.
That's right.
You know, because you could be like, you know.
Well, I got to go to Colombia to get the good drug deals.
Oh, yeah, right.
You can't get them around
I forgot.
here.
Okay, so then you're not going to be a donor.
No.
Okay.
So seriously, the fecal transplantation procedure. Fecal transplantation is usually performed by colonoscopy. And during colonoscopy, the colonoscope is advanced through the entire colon. And as the colonoscope is withdrawn, the donor stool is delivered through the colonoscopy into your colon.
Wow. That is like, you know, it's amazing what we can do. It's amazing.
You know what's more amazing than that?
What?
Is that this would be the next form of treatment. I don't know if you remember last year, we did a segment on the poop pill.
No,
Do
you
you
know,
remember
I
that?
do remember that. And the poop tea.
And the poop tea.
Remember that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the poop pill does exactly what the fecal transplantation does, but all of the screening has been done for you.
Yeah.
The fecal matter is put into a pill. You take the pill, and as it goes through your colon, it releases the healthy fecal matter.
Healthy bacteria. The same with the poop tea that we talked about and all of those wonderful things. Hey, you know, before we go further, I just want to let everybody out there know this is actually a very serious subject. And if you'd like any information, if you know anybody going through any of this, please feel free to reach out. trendradio920@gmail.com. I'll send you whatever information you need and a $50 gift certificate to Anthony Vincent Salon. Nothing? I get nothing this time?
You'll
Wow.
be glad you did. Okay, on the later side.
Oh, good.
So this woman calls the police and files a report after a date farts in her apartment.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding.
Come on. Come on.
This rejected...
How do you waste the police their time for some gas?
Well,
And it's not really gas that you need, like PSE&G gas. It's really?
because you're liberal. So this rejected man gets his smelly revenge, and he farts in his date's apartment before leaving. And you know, people do weird things when they get rejected. I think
so he
they do.
farted.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, you've never been rejected?
No.
I'll work on that for you.
Okay. So this guy in Sweden really took things to a smelly new low.
Oh, boy.
This Swedish man entered a woman's apartment one Sunday after a date with the expectation of having sex with her. And apparently she did agree, but later changed her mind.
You know what? It's everybody's prerogative to change their mind. If maybe she came up with the ooh factor. Maybe he did something or said something that just turned her off. That could happen, you know.
And maybe she just changed her mind. Maybe he was a great guy and she wanted to make a relationship out of this. So she decided...
Not anymore.
Well, she decided to wait because better relationships
happen when you wait.
When
exactly.
you wait at least 5 dates. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on.
Okay.
I have a whole study on that.
Oh, nice.
But, you know, what does a normal guy do? What do you slink back into the friend zone?
Okay.
You know?
Whatever it is, obviously, it doesn't really matter what a normal guy or an abnormal guy does. This is what he chose to do. He chose to leave the apartment, but on the way out, he gave her a parting gift in the form of a very loud, smelly, ew, fart.
I applaud him. I think that was great. I think that's a man's man that does that.
So she called the police and she said that the fart was disturbing and it smelled very bad in the apartment. Can you imagine? I think that is unbelievable. I can't believe that. That is the only, I've never heard that. what a waste of somebody's time. She's an obvious idiot.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Well, the guy's a little bit of a jerk, too.
But the guy is actually a lucky guy because really, he farts and she calls the police. That must have been one hell of a fart.
I don't care. Your home is supposed to be your sanctuary, but,
All right, light a candle. I mean, come on. Glade, air freshener, really?
Well, I don't know. I think it would feel really great to, to let one rip. But
well, you know what? The thing is, what happens though? I mean, now this is what his new little nickname is. He's the fart guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So he's known all over the place because I'm sure she told everybody, obviously, and the police probably told everybody too because they were probably like, "What?" So if you think about it,
well, Howard Stern
he's
made
the fart guy.
Howard Stern made Fart Man very famous, and everybody loved the Fart Man.
So now the fart guy is all around town in Sweden.
Well.
Don't go to Sweden, okay? That's what I'm saying to you.
Well,
they might, think that you're the fart guy.
They may be able to train you to become a better fart guy.
How do you do that? Eat lots of prunes.
Engage your core.
Cheese.
Oh, God, that is funny.
Well, to be honest, I'd rather have a girl fart in my place than send me like a dozen psychotic texts, But, I don't know. Whatever happened to dignity? Just
that
do it.
So
just
funny.
be mature. Take the rejection in stride. Realize that there are more fish in the sea and that you could fart right outside the door. But I guess you got to relieve those pent-up emotions somehow.
Yeah.
So, Elise, I'm surfing the net looking for some interesting things to talk about, and I come across this question.
Okay.
And the question is, my boyfriend and I have a great sex life, but there's one thing that keeps popping up. He asked me to pleasure myself in front of him, and that's not the first time he has made this request. Now, I've heard this can be really hot for couples, and I want to try it, but I'm worried I will feel awkward the whole time.
Wow. I can understand that, she may feel awkward, but I really think that it's an awesome thing to do. Here's the thing. I think that a lot of men would love to see that. And I also think that I can understand where, you see, it's very, very...
It's common. It's fairly common.
What's common?
That, that boyfriends might ask this. Women have come a long way in their journey to sexual empowerment.
Here's the word that I was looking for. It's very, very intimate. And it's sharing something that's a part of you. And again, a very intimate part of you.
That's right.
So
and there's a stigma attached to pleasuring yourself.
You really? Yeah, well, that I don't care about that. That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, but it's a private activity. And
it is
to
very
perform
private.
That in front of another person?
But not just another person, though. Somebody that you share your innermost desires with. It's huge. And it's extremely intimate. And once you get past that, and you do that for the first time, and you look into your partner's eyes while you're doing this, that's the key too.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to have that. You have to catch that, and you have to share that. That could be unbelievable. And the experience, you'll have longer, fuller, and better orgasms with that.
Well, that's the whole thing about our show, is to empower men and women to become, better and more confident and more knowledgeable. And I think giving your partner a front row seat to such an intimate experience, okay, it might be a little intimidating at first, but keep this in mind. This is not just a treat for him.
No. It's actually sharing something as intimate and intimidating as that,
Sensual and stimulating.
that could be, so that makes it so sensual and stimulating. And that's for both of you.
That's right.
But think about this also, what it's going to open up for the two of you. You're at a whole nother level.
A whole nother level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking about up close and personal.
Creating more intimacy between you and your partner.
That's where it's at.
All right, let's face it, Elise. You know, when it comes down to getting turned on, you girls are complicated. You really are. You know, us guys.
You know what? You guys are simple. That is.
We are.
That is true.
And we're visual creatures. Mm-hmm. You know.
And I can understand why this would be a complete turn on for you. But you also have to understand why this would be something, you know, hard to do sometimes. It's again, it could be a little sticky situation depending on the woman.
Yeah.
You know, I can understand her feeling uncomfortable, awkward, because it is very intimate. But I think that she should definitely try it. She said she wants to. So she should definitely try it. And I know that when she does, she'd be glad she did.
That's right.
Very glad.
And Elise, witnessing something that no other man gets to see.
Oh my God.
Granting him the privilege of letting him watch.
That's huge.
Wow. That, you know, that it gets everybody's juices flowing.
And then the connection is even deeper between the two of you.
That's right.
I would imagine.
You'll be closer and more
Absolutely.
connected than ever before.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is, think about this for 1 minute. What do we always say? Confidence.
Is sexy.
Because you know what? There is nothing sexier than a woman who knows exactly what she wants and how she wants it. So, you know, ladies, put on that show for your guy and show, or your partner, whoever, and show your partner that you are comfortable with who you are, with your body, with your sexuality, and that will give you even more power as a result of that.
That's right. That's great. So, you know, make it feel less like a peep show and more like an intimate shared experience.
Absolutely. And then, you know what? Ask your love to join in on the action. That takes the pressure off of you and makes you both feel more comfortable.
Oh, yeah. You'll be glad you did.
Oh, yeah.
You know, earlier in the show, we talked about, you know, the 5-date rule before you have sex with somebody. Mm-hmm. And there was actually a study done asking, does waiting to have sex make for happier couples?
Oh.
And I thought that was, you know, really very, very interesting. And
well, I think that it's important to know somebody. And, you know, if you just jump right into bed with them, you're not going to have the opportunity to know them as a person.
That's right. You know, and it's hard to know exactly what makes people the happiest.
True.
But you know, the dating site Match.
Yeah.
They decided to analyze data from a member survey to find out. And some are what you'd expect, and like the happiest people, for example, they go out often, they avoid stalking their exes on social media. And one slightly surprising statistic, though, that stood out. The longer people wait to have sex, the happier they are.
That is very interesting. And you know what's interesting is what makes a person happy, or what keeps a person happy. And I love that one really great part of it is that they avoid stalking their exes on social media. I think that's great. When you don't know what's going on and you don't check up on somebody, you know, that keeps you very happy. And the longer you wait to have sex with somebody, I guess, new that you meet, I think that's probably great too. This way you're learning about the person. You're knowing different things about them, and then you can make, you know, a good decision for yourself.
That's right. And according to Match's survey, people who have sex on the 5th date are 35% more likely to be happy than those who hopped into bed on the 1st date.
Yeah, hopping into bed on the 1st date is really a no-no.
It is?
Yeah, because then that's the end of it. Then that's a one-night stand.
Well, it's really not a date. It's a hookup.
Yeah, that's a hookup. And that's okay if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for a relationship, I would wait.
Well, do you know that the happiest people wait until they're engaged?
Oh, well,
Not only that, each one-night stand per year decreases a woman's happiness by 14%.
really?
And it decreases men by 6%.
Wow.
You know, I used to live in an apartment, and our neighbors were dating. They moved in together, and they bought your book, The Joy of Sex.
Uh-huh.
And they were not having sex until they read the entire book. And then after they read it, then they tried each thing that they read about.
Oh, now that's hot.
Yeah,
And that's sexy.
I thought so.
That's awesome. And they told you that.
They did. They were very happy
Open?
to talk. Yeah, very, very open. So, is casual sex a recipe for misery, Elise?
I would, in my opinion, I would say could be sometimes, but
so
you know,
it's not casual sex, it's serious sex. That's good.
well, no, casual sex is something I think that just happens. Like that's a hookup. That's somebody, you know, having like a one night stand, having whatever. That's what I think of as casual sex. But I don't think that, you know, it can it depends on what your needs are and your wants, you know. But again, if you're looking for somebody serious, to have something serious in your life and to have a relationship, there's no need for casual sex because your brain is being, you know, you're using your brain in a different way.
Yes, the brain, my second favorite organ.
Yes, I know. We already know what the first one is too. But I'm not going to say it. You can say it if you want to.
I can't say it. I'm a guy.
It's his heart. Please. He's got a heart on.
Well, you know, experts warn against interpreting these results as a reason to hold out on sex. You know, people who wait until their engagement or their wedding to have sex, they're likely to have strong moral or religious reasons for doing so.
Right, but not everybody has those same values.
No, they don't.
And especially the religious ones. But here's the thing about that. I have to just say this one more thing. The thing about holding out until you're engaged, that I don't know that I necessarily agree with. Because I really feel like you need to definitely hold out and know the person. But I also feel like, you know, sexual relations with somebody that you love, it's very, very important for your relationship. So you need to know that you're compatible.
Well, the religious people or the more moral, their reasoning is, of course, that they have more of a sense of satisfaction for living up to their beliefs, and that's why they would wait for their engagement. Or
And I understand that. I understand that. That's you know, it's their choice.
You know, I had a friend that had that was dating a gal, and she talked such a great line. Oh, I am total. I just love everything about. I will try anything. I enjoy it all. Going on and on. So, and the guy's dating her, and she is teasing him, I suppose.
Oh, wow.
And so it turns out they finally get the evening alone after a date, and it was probably 3 or 4 dates down the road over there. And so he thought, wow, 3rd, 4th date, it is time for the action. So he goes in expecting something, and she says to him, oh no, let's just cuddle.
Oh.
Let's just cuddle. This is after talking, you know, a bunch of
Isn't that interesting?
Stuff. Yeah. And, you know, I see that as a tease. And, you know, my friend wasn't very, very happy.
I'm sure he wasn't, but...
And it turned out that she was just full of baloney.
What did... baloney? What did he end up doing with her? Like, I mean, did he end up not ever seeing her again?
He just decided not to see her again because, you know, it was a game to her. And he liked her.
Sure.
And, you know, I mean, after the 3rd or 4th date, I think you want to take it up to the next level.
Okay. I guess maybe, you know, it depends. You know, she might have had some other issues.
You know what? I'm thinking she probably did.
You know, I mean, because, you know, if she was so flirty on the outside, and then when it came down to it, she wasn't interested.
Mm-hmm.
That says that there's something wrong.
Well, sexologist Logan Levinoff is a PhD, and he has another theory that when sex comes early, people tend to rely on the sex for a connection, and sometimes it doesn't develop much beyond that.
Oh, a lot of times it doesn't.
That's right.
When there's early sex in a relationship, it can also make people more likely to stick around when the relationship's not even working.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? And that's no good.
That's right.
And that's why I think that it's really important to get to know somebody, especially if you're looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
Again, if you're not looking for a relationship and
Different
you're just
story.
looking for sex, then go for it, and then you can have somebody as, a wonderful little, sex partner.
Well, what do they call that?
Well, that's like,
A buddy, a sex buddy?
sex buddy.
A sex buddy.
Yeah.
In 2009, a study in 2009, they found that couples that had sex later were more satisfied with their relationships.
Because they knew their person. They knew the person that they were with. They knew the relationship.
They liked them,
and that
so they
was
liked the sex.
Even better. I mean, it was beyond just feeling good. It was feeling intimacy. It was feeling, every different emotion beyond just, your typical, hey, I'm having sex.
That's right. And not sex, but sexuality is very rewarding and creates a bonding when it occurs early in a relationship, and then it makes it more difficult to carefully judge whether the foundations of the relationship are solid.
Yeah. Well, either way, Match's findings should definitely not encourage you to have less sex overall.
Oh no.
The happiest people studied were also the ones who had sex daily. Okay?
For just a minute or two.
Even if or whatever, however much long you have, whatever time you have. So as long as you're living in accordance with your values and working on your relationship holistically, there's no reason to stay out of the bedroom or any other place that you can find to enjoy yourself.
And that's the truth. Speaking of Match.com, there was this weirdest study ever that finds nearly half of the women are attracted to men holding fish.
I'm not one of them.
Well, if you've ever tried dating online, you know that people put some weird stuff in their photos. And some dudes pose with their cars, their teddy bears, but
Their dogs.
Yeah, their dogs. And there's been it's pretty
Their
new,
kids.
but unsigned. Yeah, no, that steers other people away.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this study that found that guys who posted pictures of themselves with fish are actually into something.
I don't get it.
Yep. This study.
Do you get that? Do you get that?
No, I don't get it. But this study was done in conjunction with Match.com and a fishing app called Fishbrain. And what they did is they analyzed the match photos that were used by 18 to 35-year-old men in Florida and found that a whopping 22% who posed with fish really caught their eye.
I don't understand it. But hey.
Go figure. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. And we're going to talk about the people who are really into the idea of threesomes.
Wow.
You'll be very surprised.
I'm sure I will be.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a longer, thicker thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
This program may contain adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
So, you ever thought about having a menage a trois?
Me or the vernacular me?
No, you.
Oh.
It's always the vernacular. You don't have to answer. Mike, how about you? Menage a trois?
I plead the fifth.
Oh, I'm telling you guys, chicken. Well.
Okay, you?
Oh, hell yeah.
All the time?
I don't know if you have to even ask
I'm talking
that
about
guy.
the vernacular me. It's me and 64% of the population.
Wow.
According to a survey of 275 heterosexuals ages 18 to 24, just out of my age group,
Oh, yes.
published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, people, guys especially,
Of course, guys.
yep, are definitely on board with a threesome.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. 31% of the women that were interested in hooking up with two people at once, 8% of them said they've already done it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. And let me ask you something, though. What do you think they did? Do you think they hooked up with a girl and a guy or two guys? Or even two girls? What do you think their pleasure, their threesome pleasure was?
Well, the threesome is typically two girls and a guy, but
For a guy.
Yeah.
But I think the girls are more interested in that too, because I don't know about two guys and one girl. What do they call that?
I mean, I always called it a devil's threesome. You know, it's but I always find it weird because I thought that threesomes weren't usually two guys and a girl because guys weren't into that,
Right.
and girls were more willing to be into the two girls than the guy.
That's right.
You know, which is kind of mean because the guy should also be more inclined. But that's how I that's how I grew up. Yeah.
Well, guys, I know there's a 3-foot rule. You can't be within 3 foot of that other guy if it's two guys and a girl.
And no eye contact. Eye contact is a terrible thing.
No eye contact.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
And it seems as though men preferred to know the person who would join them and their partner.
Okay. Oh, I understand that. I could understand that a lot. That makes perfect sense, too.
Yeah, but the women didn't care whether they knew the other two people or not,
And I understand that, too.
because they were the third party.
Ah.
I think that makes it hotter if you don't know. It's like the excitement. What you going to get? Who's it going to be?
It's riskier.
Much riskier, and that risk is
Very
the
interesting.
I think the turn on. I think
Interesting. Wow.
I have enough trouble with one woman, let alone two or more. That's for damn sure. Well, anyway, there was another study done also, and that was of 18 to 39-year-olds.
Okay.
That's more my age bracket, and that was in 2013, and they found an even greater number of people they say had already engaged in threesomes.
Really?
Yeah, and Craigslist.
So have you ever had one?
No.
Did you hear that? The way the weak
How
little
defeated.
No,
How defeated.
Yeah, that was that was great. Oh, I did it. He's so red right now. That's so cute.
On Craigslist in New York City, there were 1,500 requests for threesomes in just 1 week. And according to a survey,
Wow.
Yeah, 1,500 in 1 week.
Oh my gosh.
And threesomes are men's #1 sexual fantasy.
Wow. I could understand then a lady doing this for her guy if that's his #1 sexual fantasy. I could understand. You know?
boy, you must be a great girlfriend.
I'm just saying, if that's something that he would want, I could understand her doing that for him.
I see that too. And, we've had many clients that have done that.
I have quite a few, actually.
Yeah. Point that
I
out
do.
to me next time.
I know you love that. He loves that. He always wants to know.
I want to know. Inquiring minds need to know.
It's so funny.
So the authors of the Archives of Sexual Behavior Study noted that why people appear fairly open-minded about threesomes is, there's a pretty big difference about how many people want to have them and how many people actually do.
Well, there is always that. You can want something and talk about it, and it could be very refreshing for your actual, sexual pleasure to discuss it.
Yeah.
But doing it and talking about it are two different things.
That you're absolutely...
Always.
Yeah, that kind of goes with everything almost.
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
people want to do a lot of things, and a lot of people talk about it more than they do it.
And they never
Of course.
do.
And it doesn't have to do with sex either. It can do with
Or
anything.
it's
It could be with
anything.
anything,
Yeah,
but I'm
climbing
just...
a mountain, going up in a hot air balloon.
Running a marathon.
A marathon, yeah.
Of course. Were you just talking about me in the hot air balloon?
No.
I'm going to do that.
Have fun.
You're not coming with me. I know that already. I've already asked you, and you said no.
If God wanted me to go up in the air, he would have filled me with hot air.
Okay. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. I'll pull you down from the clouds, okay? Don't you worry about a thing. Anyway.
Have you ever had a friend that all they talk about is the girl they had here, the girl they got there? They did it all night long.
Yeah.
They did it 3 times. Mm-hmm. That person is full of hot air. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people...
I don't know. I don't know that it really matters.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just talking about...
You're just talking about somebody else's sex life.
The fish gets bigger every time. It's one of those,
yeah, the fish gets bigger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell the story of the fish. It gets bigger every time.
I do actually have somebody who does that. I know somebody who does that.
Oh, the actual fish part?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't really
That's
fish,
so funny.
so...
That's so funny. Really? Such a big fish. Where's the picture? I guess you have to go on Match to find
You
the
gotta go
pictures
on
of the
Match
guys.
to find the picture of the big fish.
Yeah.
Isn't there something called Plenty of Fish? Or
Yes, there
thing
is.
Called,
Yes,
it's
Plenty
not
of
Big
Fish.
Fish, it's Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish is
Yeah.
another site.
Plenty
Yes.
of Fish is one of the sites.
That's
yeah.
right. Big Fish is a porno site or something, isn't it?
I have
Is
no
it?
idea. I've never heard of
That
that
I
one.
don't know.
I
I
wouldn't
guess
know.
that
I
must be
wouldn't know.
Anthony's favorite.
I wouldn't know.
Big Fish. Ooh.
Anyway, this study, particularly noticed the logical inconsistencies in more men than women, reporting threesomes, even though most of the encounters reported involved 2 women.
Well, maybe the women just don't talk about it,
Well,
and the men just can't help themselves.
that's right.
I imagine that would be, a thing.
Well, these inconsistencies, what we were just talking about, a lot of the young guys are having threesomes with older women, and I happen to know someone who did. But with these men's stories about their, risque sexual rendezvous, you got to take them with a grain of salt because they're
not always true.
Guys tend to exaggerate.
I can see that, yes.
Well, I don't know if these threesomes are using condoms, but in their little escapades, but young women are not using condoms.
Why?
And they're, totally crazy reasons.
Like what?
Well, okay.
And how do you know?
I just know. I know
Just
these
kidding.
things.
Okay,
I
so
know these
why?
things.
Why? What are these reasons?
Well, first, you do know that the condoms are the only method of contraception that prevents pregnancy and STDs
at the same time.
at the same time.
Correct.
So, when I came across another study in which none of the participants said they used condoms regularly, I had to check it out.
That's interesting because I wouldn't worry so much about the pregnancy part because most women are on birth control. But the risk for any kind of, transmitted disease or infection or anything like that, I mean, especially if you don't know the person well, I mean, come on, ladies.
That's right.
Now you're being ridiculous.
And the ladies in that last survey said that they prefer a threesome without knowing the other parties. That was much more exciting.
Exactly. So I don't even understand why the condom wouldn't be on.
I don't either.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But this particular study, published in the Journal of Sex Research, interviewed 25 sexually active women ages 18 to 24 and found that only 2 of the women said that it was important for them to use condoms. 2.
Wow.
So there are going to be a lot of birthing babies.
Well, not
And
really the
penicillin
babies.
shots.
I would say more the infections of the disease. Wow.
Well, these participants revealed the reasons why they weren't fans of wrapping it up.
Well, what could it be?
Well,
Because I wanna know.
they had every excuse,
I'm
and
curious.
none of them were valid.
Well, let's hear what they are. Do you know what they are?
Yeah, I made some notes. Well,
Okay.
they said that sex feels better without one.
Agreed.
Well, and yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, there's an easy solution: lube. It relieves the dryness or any friction during sex.
I don't think that's the reason, though.
Oh, well, with these women, they said that the friction and the irritation was uncomfortable for them. And that's with this group. But what are your thoughts?
I don't have any.
Oh, you certainly do.
Oh, no, but I'm not going to give them right now.
Oh, I know it. I could see it. It's like there's a billboard over top of your head, and if you're not lubed up naturally, it means just the person you're with is not doing it for you. That's what your billboard is saying?
Oh, my God. Get out of my head.
I'm good.
That was really good.
I'm good.
Oh, my gosh. Well, somebody knows me, huh?
Another reason they won't use condoms is they think they're going to get a UTI.
They think they're going to get a UTI from using them?
From using them.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that is definitely ridiculous. They're not going to get a UTI from using them,
That's
but
right.
they will get one from not using them
Well, that's right.
with a stranger.
Right. If you're properly lubricated, you certainly won't get the UTI either.
Some of these girls might think that they don't trust the condom as a way to not get pregnant, because sometimes the condoms break, they're not good, they have a hole, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But
sometimes the
whole
sex gets a little rough.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, is that most times the condom is a good condom. And again, it's not to prevent the pregnancy, because be on birth control if you're sexually active. It's to prevent an infection or a disease. That's what it is. That's what the whole thing is for me. They still work. The method works.
That's right. It's very effective when it's the only method of contraception. And
Exactly.
You were saying that there's a chance of it breaking during
Yeah,
sex?
sometimes it happens.
It's 1 in 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're thinking, though. It's going to break. There's going to be a pinhole. There's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be once. Again, like it said, 1 in 100.
1 in 100.
But for the most part, it's your best way. It's the only method against, STDs.
That's right. They work.
Exactly. Agreed.
So you're having this threesome. You're using your condoms. Did you take her out to dinner or to lunch?
Wow. That would be nice.
Before or after?
Don't you think he should?
Of course, but after.
Maybe both.
Well,
Maybe take them both. Actually, no.
No? They'll eat
Definitely
too
take
much
her. No. Take her. The one that he's actually involved with. The one that he actually loves. The one that did for him, this fulfilling of the sexual fantasy. Take her out for dinner.
Okay, so do you have her pick up the check?
Absolutely not. Boys pay, girls don't.
Well, that's right. Men are not cool with ladies footing the bill on a date. At least according to this
Yeah,
OkCupid data.
most men anyway. There are some men that will, that just really don't care about that. I don't believe that they're actual gentlemen, though.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's enough pressure what to wear, where to go, what to talk about. And
You want to impress your lady, you pay the bill.
Of
you
course.
take her out.
That's right. And, you know, for a lot of couples, figuring out how to split the bill on a date can be really tough, especially in a world where men and women are supposed to be equal.
Absolutely. And it's okay once you get to know her, once she gets to know you, once you have, you know, a common bond, it's okay then. Then she's going to say, you know what, I got this, or I'll do this. And she'll do all kinds of wonderful things for you. But if you're going out for a nice romantic dinner, or you're going out for a sweet, nice lunch, you guys, you pay the bill.
That's right. Men should cover the cost of everything.
Absolutely. I always tell that to my son. My son knows that.
That's right. You know, but the old way of doing things doesn't always seem to be enough to make splitting the bill the new normal, which it is now. And according to data from OkCupid, a majority of men still pick up the tab, at least on the first date.
Yeah.
That
Oh, definitely.
definitely.
Oh, my gosh. If they don't, oh, my God. I would never want my daughter to go out with him again.
You know, I feel the same way.
Absolutely.
You know, and splitting the bill or having women pay for the whole thing, no way.
Definitely not.
You
Yeah.
know, and I understand this. I usually pay unless somebody sneaks up to the waiter and pays the bill without me knowing it, you know, and I just think they went up to the pickle bar to get some more pickles and bread.
You know, you know, with you, it's hard. It's hard. You have to do that. You have to sneak. You have to go to the pickle bar and get another little muffin. You have to do that to pay the bill
Yeah.
when you're with you.
Well, you know, with some women, you know, they'll come and say to you, well, how much do I owe? And, you know, if they do that, I'll say, I'll usually ask for that 37 cents, you know, that the change part of the bill.
Elise, what do you got in your pocket there? You have some change there?
Yeah, I need 37 cents. The bill is $842.37. Well, you know, let me help here, Anthony. Yeah, okay, give me the 37 cents. Alrighty, you've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com. Click on demand and scroll down directly to us.
And if you have a topic of interest you want us to discuss, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
Remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.
Next week, gender inequality and how it affects your sex life.